Hi, I'm Jim, and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and this is Bruce's machine. And I guess I've got to strip this down. I wasn't going to. I got to take all the wiring out of it and the cables off. And I guess I'm going to throw some paint at it. I mean, the wife says, look at this and look at that and look at this. I welded up the parts that I painted up the parts that I welded. And this is the front end over here. And it's pretty shiny. And it's red. And this is the mower deck. And this is the rear case. And it's pretty nasty. So we're going to strip it out. I got the seat off, the gas tank's off. Now I'm not going to go crazy painting this. And I didn't on the deck or the front end. I basically just painted what's going to show. I'm not going to paint inside and all over this thing where no one's ever going to see it, because I'm trying to save some money here and get this thing done as quick as I can and get it back to him, because he's got his yard to mow and his mother's large yard to mow. So we're going to try to get this thing stripped out here, and we'll see what is going to happen. First thing I want to do is take the brake cable off. Now, I've mentioned this before, and when you work on these, please be careful with this black plastic. I don't even know what you want to call it. It doesn't have a name because you can't buy this. And if it breaks, you can't put a new one on. The end of the cable inside here, there's a piece of metal crushed to the cable, and the same with the other end. So there's no way to get this on or off. And these little necks, you can see it where it's neck down, where the snap ring goes, is very fragile. Now this cable looks to be in good shape, but he does have a brand new one. And I'll have to ask him if he wants to swap them out or just leave this one on until it breaks. Find some wrenches here. And we'll try to get this thing off of here. There's a nut on here that locks the cable on, and it's spinning on the bottom. The bottom is crushed on, and it's in the shape of a hexagon, so you can get a wrench on it. Now there's nothing too critical on this, so we're not going to worry too much about showing everything I'm doing. If I can get the nut off, it'd be really nice. The clutch cable looks to be brand new. And when he dropped this off, he gave me a box of parts. And there's also, I think, a brand new clutch cable in there. And I know there's a brand new brake cable in there. But I'll have to call him and see if he wants to put that on or not. Now this is the switch for the mower deck. Let me see if I can get you over here without totally making you seasick. This is the mower deck switch in it. Big switch, and it's got to go through that little hole. I don't really want to do a bunch of unwiring. So what we're going to do is pop the connectors off of this switch. Just need a small screwdriver to pry up the locks. And we're going to stuff it back through here. Now you can't get both of these connectors through that little hole at once. So you got to fold the wire back and stuff one at a time through. And we'll snap these back on so one, we won't lose the switch, and two, the wires will be on the right way, which I don't think it matters at all. Okay, we got a choke cable on this machine, and we'll take that off and get that out of the way. Very simple. You got a nut on the bottom, and again this cable goes through a small hole on the top here, and then you just pull it out. When I put this all back together, I'll show installing the engine and what we had to do to that. It leaks oil, it leaks gas, so I had to pick up some new gaskets for the carburetor, and we'll get them put on. Now this wire goes to the yoke switch inside the rear case. This wire goes to the starter and the stator, and this wire goes to, technically I forgot, but we'll figure that out later. So we got all these pulled out of here. All we have to do now is try to get up in there and get them wires out. I don't know how they get that switch out of there. That looks pretty interesting. Very interesting. So I'm just going to leave it in there. We'll take this shift plate off. They got a big fancy term for this, and personally I like shift plate better. Must have a nut on the inside, yeah. Typically they don't. It must be they strip the threads out on the case so it doesn't lock in as tight as they would like it to. Now we can get a lot of dirt up in here. Pop these wires off of here. This wire is coming from the little brain up in here on the modem, and this one is coming from the mower deck switch. Now we can get in here to get these bolts out. And we need some smaller sockets. Ooh, that's pretty long. And I just want to let you know They're sitting over there that I've been getting a lot of comments on using my standard sockets for my impact gun. So I went out and bought some impact sockets, 1/2 inch and 1/4 3/8 drive, and a couple universal joints, and 3 different lengths of extensions. I just love them Menards rebates, don't you? I mean, they make it sound really cool. We're going to give you 11% back off your purchase. Well, they're not dummies. They give you that rebate slip. You got to spend it in the store. But hey, if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, you're not going to get 11% off. So it's kind of like getting free money. You might as well spend it on something you need. Oh, I just love the way they put these in here. You can't get to anything. And this looks like it's been replaced. Because this is in real good shape. Usually they're all rusty and corroded to beat the band. So let me try to pull these wires up through. That should go through. So everything except the mower deck switch comes up through this hole in the back of the case here and goes towards the engine. And it looks like I'm going to have to pull them out one at a time. Now this age of machine does not have a safety switch on the seat, which I thought was because somebody had replaced the seat with a aftermarket one that didn't have the switch in it. But as I pull them wires out, there's no wires that are twisted together that would have went to that switch. So I'm just going to assume, you know what that means, there's no safety switch on this seat on this age of machine. I don't really know how old it is, but my 33-inch that I did sell, I didn't think anybody would buy that dirty, beat-up machine, but it did have a newer engine on it. I think the engine was probably 3, maybe 4 years old. You hit the key and it starts. I've been using it all spring. It was just totally filthy. And I had a bunch of people coming over looking at a couple machines that I had out for sale. And I said, what the heck? We'll just stick it out there with the rest of them. And I'll be darned some guy didn't buy that instead of the one that looked brand new. He asked me what the difference was. I said, well, that's a 33-inch, which I don't really particularly care for. This is a 28-inch. This one's got all the bells and whistles and safety switches, and this one has nothing. He said, I'll take the one that has nothing. Had a rope start, had electric start, and that's it. No safety switches at all on it. That's back when I guess people thought before they did something. So this thing is ready to take out and power wash. I've got some cleaner, and I'll show you what it looks like. I didn't really plan on dragging this out, but this is what I use to clean with. This is LA's Totally Awesome. We get this at the dollar store for, hey, $1. Comes in a spray. And it is probably a half a quart maybe. Or you can buy a quart bottle with a cover for $1. This stuff will literally remove paint. If you were to scrub something on here, your rag would be red. You really have to be careful. The best thing to do with this is dilute it 50-50 with water. But I will soak this thing down with this and then power wash it off. This is Thursday night. It's almost 6. The wife's going to be saying, hey, let's eat. So I'm going to stop at this point. Tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll probably get out the power washer. Maybe I'll let you see that thing in action. That is quite the machine. I've used it twice now. And you better be hanging on to that wand when you pull that trigger, because it's got some power behind it. It is a Simpson machine. It's made in this country. It is a rental series commercial machine. These are the machines that rentals places buy to rent out. It's 4,400 PSI with, I think it sucks up 4 gallons of water a minute, which is good because my pump only puts out 5 gallons a minute. And the nice part I like about this, it has 5 different tips that come with it. And the tips itself will reduce the amount of pressure coming out of them because they have a bigger hole. Or the pump is set up with a valve where you can adjust the pressure you want. That's the first time I've ever seen that on a power washer. That's handy. And I think the frame, what can ever happen to the frame, has a 10-year warranty on it. It's aluminum and stainless steel. The deck, I think the engine and pump is mounted to is aluminum plate. Looks like it's probably 1/8 of an inch or 3/16 thick. And the rest of it, the frame is stainless steel with 2 pneumatic tires. The engine is a professional series Honda engine, which carries a 3-year warranty. And the pump, I believe that's a AAA, and that carries a 7-year warranty. The one I used to have, I can't even remember the name of it right now, but I've had that for maybe 4 years. I've very seldom ever used that thing, and the pump went out on it already. So I was not going to buy another cheap machine. I'm at the point in my life where I'm tired of buying cheap products. The first thing I did when I was looking for a power washer is I went over to Ace Hardware and looked at the Steels. They were a little less expensive, and they only carried a 1-year warranty on the pump. And I believe, don't quote me, it was either 90 days or a year on the engine. And I don't even remember what kind of engine it had on it. After I seen the price and the PSI that was coming out of it, which was nowhere near the 4,400, and the warranty, I just said, you know, you got to do better than that because I found a better machine. Where I come across this, I think I was just jumping around on online, and this thing popped up when I said pressure washers, and it just really appealed to me, so I bought it. It's a little heavy. It's 120 pounds. So it's not something you're going to pick up and put in the back of the truck and, well, maybe you can, but This old boy ain't gonna pick up a 120-pound pressure washer and stick in the back of my truck. So we'll see that going in the last half of this video. And I guess until then, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk to you. Well, it's going to be tomorrow for me, but it's going to be in a couple seconds for you. See you later.